I'll go ahead. Sorry, I wanted to start recording. So I want to preface the call with this. Tiffany and I are both pregnant right now. So please give us grace. If we forget what we're saying in the middle of our sentence, that is why. Give us grace, okay? So yes, with that being said, if you have any questions while we go through this, since we are muted, feel free to type them in the chat box, and then we can come back to them at the end. And we can open up for questions at the end as well, okay? So like I said, I'm Liz. I am on Amber's Zoom. If you don't know who I am, I'm Liz Freeman. I'm a Ruby ambassador with Plexus. Super proud to be a part of Plexus. If you're brand new here, you are here at the best time. You are in the right place. I can promise you that. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn it over to Tiffany, my Ruby sideline. We're actually both on the same team, but we don't like affect each other. She's not my upline. I'm not her upline. We're just sidelines. And she is one of my very best friends. One of the greatest blessings from this business for me is friendships. So if you're new here and you're craving that, or that's something that you know could bless you in your life, like for me as a military spouse, I was craving. It's been the biggest surprise blessing that the Lord has given me. So I'll turn it over to Tiffany to go ahead and just get us started. Like I said, we're just going to jump right into it, and she can share more of her story with you and start us off with the training.
All right, guys, I was going to preface that we're pregnant as well because I'm feeling a little bit queasy tonight. So if I have to run, Liz will take over for a second and I'll jump right back in. It's been a fun pregnancy. But yes, so I'm also a Ruby like Liz on Janet and Amber's team and completely blessed by this business. Before we get started, I thought I would tell you guys a little bit about myself and not take up too much time. But like Liz said, if you didn't hear her, go ahead and grab your success kit that came with your initial welcome pack if you don't have that with you. So go ahead and grab that while I'm talking and run back. But I started Plexus in 2015. I am a nurse. I was a mom of one, pregnant with my second, and I wanted to get healthy. I also have had migraines my entire life, and I thought, you know what, if Plexus could do something for me, either give me energy to chase this toddler or maybe help with my migraines, I'll give it a shot. At the time, I talked to my friend Ashley, and I actually had watched her post about Plexus for about 7 months. So some of you have been skeptics for 6 months to a year. Hello, that was me. I was right there with you. I thought that these people were crazy. I was concerned for what they were doing. And then when I started looking at the ingredients, took it to my chiropractor, took it to my midwife, and we were all really impressed with how amazing these products were. So I jumped in on our triplex combo and quickly added our X Factor multivitamin. And I'll tell you guys, I didn't know how bad I felt in that pregnancy, but within just a few days, my heartburn was gone. I was sleeping better, and I had more energy. I wasn't needing to lay down at like 2 and 3 o'clock every day. So I was like, okay, well, if anybody can feel better at the end of a pregnancy, there's something, light bulb moment here. Something's going on. So it didn't take long for me to figure out that I really loved Plexus. At the same time, I had a couple of detox headaches when I first got started, but I did not have any migraines since that time on Plexus. A little disclaimer, I've had a few migraines this pregnancy, but we all know that pregnancy and hormones do some crazy things to your body. So I've struggled a little more with pregnancy, but up until this, I haven't had any other health issues. I've really, really enjoyed my time with Plexus. So it's been really amazing. So that's a little bit about me, and we're super blessed to be a Ruby family here. We're shooting for senior Ruby and Emerald really quickly. Liz and I have Emerald goals for these babies. They're due within a day of each other, within a few days of each other. They changed Liz's due date. But so we're having twins. We live in 2 different states, and we're having babies together. So, okay, here's what I'm going to go over tonight. This little checklist that came in your pack, it says quick start guide. This is what you need to have with you. So I'm going to talk about 1 through 5. And we feel like there's no need to reinvent the wheel here. So people who have gone before us, who are diamonds, who are successful here, helped make this packet. So if you're brand new and you're super overwhelmed and you have no idea where to start, number 1, that's where to start. So being a product of the product. If you aren't taking Plexus, you can't tell someone what you think about the taste, what it's doing for you, what you feel. what you know about the ingredients, the research you've done. If you're not taking the products, there's no way that you'll be able to share something. It's no different than trying to sell someone on a Mexican restaurant down the street, but you've never been there. So they ask you a question about it and you're like, I don't know if they have white cheese dip or yellow cheese dip. If you are taking the products, you're going to know if you like the taste of the watermelon new slim. These are things that people want to know. And if you're not taking them, you can't answer those questions. So if I tell you anything else tonight, I feel like that's really, really important, because if you're brand new here, you've got to have some sort of foundation for your business. And if you're not a believer in what you're taking, that's where your success is going to be formed from. Very, very simple. And another thing is, if you're a triplex customer, maybe that's where you started. That's a great combination to start with. I think everyone should be on the triplex combo. But think about adding something just so you can try it as an ambassador. I have completely replaced Tylenol or ibuprofen in our household with Ease. So if I have something on my body aching, you best believe I'm going to be taking Ease and not grabbing Tylenol or ibuprofen. It's so much better for your body. Or maybe try our Omegas, no fishy burps. It's great for your heart health and brain health. Those are really great things to try. So when someone asks you a question, you could say, yeah, it really actually doesn't smell. If you haven't tried it, you can't talk about it. Number 2 is to get to know your ambassador success kit. So this right here, your Let's Get You Started book, this should be your Plexus Bible. If you're new, if you just signed up today, or if you're new and you signed up 2 weeks ago, or maybe even 2 months ago, and you haven't read through this book, this is the place to start. It really gives you everything that you need to know. And Liz and I are no geniuses. Well, we are very smart, but we're no geniuses. But this is what we did. This is how we formed our business, because we didn't know where to start either. Of course, you have a great team. You have great training. There are things out there for you. But if you're sitting at home overwhelmed by all the groups on Facebook, or overwhelmed by what to do next, this is it. This is the place to be. State your why. So this is really, really important as a foundation of your business. When I first started Plexus, the thing in the back of my head was that I wanted to be home with my kids. It wasn't something that I wanted to be very vocal about, because it's a vulnerable thing for me and it makes me emotional, but that's exactly what your why should be. We always joke about your why should make you cry, and it really should. Your why is, why are you here? Why are you doing Plexus? What does it mean to you to be successful in Plexus? So let's say your first goal is silver. You want to get those 3 ambassadors under you ordering every single month. When you get that and you get that extra $100, $100 is a lot of money. Still, to me, it's a lot of money. That can do a lot for you in 1 month. What is that going to mean to you? What is that going to feel like? But then I really want you to think, and I really want you to dream. When you're a diamond ambassador, or let's even say emerald, this is still huge for me. When you're an emerald ambassador and you get to go to that Lexus dealership and pick out that Lexus, and you get to jump on that plane for free and go to Hawaii, what is that going to mean for you and your family? What is that going to mean that you can afford to take your husband out of work for a week and just go and be and relax for a week in Hawaii? Really, really sit down and think about that, and in some form, write it down. That may mean in the notes section on your phone. It may mean you literally write it with pen and paper, or maybe you type it out on your computer. That's what I did at first. I typed it out and I printed it, and it was beside my desk. I also encourage you to send that to your upline, the person that you joined with, but send it to someone that's a sideline too. Like Liz is my sideline. Her business doesn't benefit me. My business doesn't benefit her, but we are encouragers for each other. We talk every single week, almost every single day, and she knows my why. My why now, of course, I've gotten to be home. I've gotten to quit my job and stay home with my kids. My why now is to stay home. If everything falls apart, I have to go back to work. So I have to, work my business. And that's what gets me out of bed. That's what makes me, talk to people when I might be a little bit uncomfortable. So what is going to get you out of bed in the morning? What is going to be your why? Write it down and share it with your partner and your upline. I encourage you to share it with whoever you live with too. If you have kids that are old enough, your husband, your spouse, your significant other, share it with them, because it should be their dream too. And you want them on the same page with you, supporting you and cheering for you on the days when you think, man, this is hard, because there will be days. It's just like any other job. There are days where it will be hard. Number 4 is to set business goals. So this is something that I think sometimes in network marketing, you feel like you don't necessarily need to write them down because they'll just happen, or it's just not in your mindset to say, okay, in this many days, I'm going to do this. This was something that was really hard for me at first. But I really encourage you to look at 30, 60, and 90-day goals. And I even encourage you to look at 365-day goals. Where would you see yourself in 1 year from now? So what do you want to do this month? What do you want to accomplish this month? And then in a few months, and then what about a year from now? And I want that on paper too, because if you're not writing things down, that is not going to come to fruition. It's not as easy as going to happen if you're not writing it down, looking at it, seeing it every day, and even speak that over your business. I'll tell you right now, I have positive affirmations and goals that I speak and pray over my business, and I think that has made a huge difference in my business, the fact that I do that. So I encourage you to be very forward with them. Like this example says, I'm on my way to better health, financial freedom, more family time. Be specific. I want to quit my job within 1 year. I will quit my job on whatever, I don't even know what today's date is. That's the job, life of a network marketer, on July 17th, 2018. I don't know what today is, but write out the calendar day. And you know what? It's okay if you miss them. You have to have something to aim for. If you aim high and you hit it a little bit lower, you don't have that much more to go. But if you don't have anything to aim for, nothing plugged in your GPS, you're kind of just wandering around aimlessly. And then number 5, connect with your sponsor upline. I feel like this is one of the most important things about your business. Unless your sponsor or your upline joined today with you, they've been here just a little bit longer than you. Even if it's just a week or a couple of weeks or a couple of months, it's still more time than you've been here. They're probably not as overwhelmed as you are. So that should be your best friend. You should be talking to them often. If you have a problem, go to them. If you have a question, go to them. Look for the answers first yourself, but really form a friendship there. And as a new ambassador, one thing that you might not be thinking about yet, but I love this quote, and it is that your friends are going to buy into you before they buy into the products. So you probably don't realize it, but you bought into that sponsor, that person you signed up with, before you bought into Plexus. So that relationship that you have with your potential customers and potential ambassadors and with your sponsor right now is so important. That's something that you should cultivate, that you should nurture, and that will help both of your businesses grow because you're taking care of each other. It's still about being friends. And if all of it falls apart, hopefully you're still going to be friends. There's no reason why you can't love that person out of Plexus. So that's something that I feel like just really helps your business grow. And without the friendships that I have formed here, both with sidelines and with uplines, I don't think that I would be here. I don't think that I would be successful here. And many, please mute yourself if you're not muted. Many of the friendships that I have formed here are lifelong friendships outside of Plexus that will always be there. And I could not be more thankful for them. So that's my 1 through 5, Liz. I'll let you jump in and do a few more before we get out of here.
Okay. Yes. So number 6, I'll just roll right into it. It is make your Franks list. If you don't know what that means, that is your friends, your relatives, your acquaintances, your neighbors, kids connections, and service organizations. Now, so what that is that's a list of, basically it's a memory jogger for you to sit down with a clean sheet of paper or go on Microsoft Word, whatever kind of person you are, whatever fits you best, and think about, who do you know who's your neighbor? Who do you know from your kids? You know, who plays baseball with your son? Who goes to church with you? Who you know you could share Plexus with? All those types of different networks from your life and those different avenues of your life that you have all these relationships from. Start thinking of those people and write down every single name that comes to your mind. And you can also go about it this way. Everyone has a different way of doing it. Frank's list is one way, and that's the way that the Success Kit does it. You could also do memory joggers and go through your life. You know, who is my best friend in the 2nd grade? Who is my best friend's mom in the 5th grade? Who did I ride the school bus with in middle school? Different things like that. I mean, I have teachers even who have purchased from me, you know, who were my teachers. So go through all of those phases of life and just start thinking of everybody that you know. and shoot for 100 to 200 names at minimum, okay? And this list is an ever-growing list. So even now, almost 2 years into this business, I am still constantly adding to my list. It's always growing. It's always evolving. And as people join your team or purchase from you as a customer, you can mark their name off, and it feels really great. But what you have to, the reason you're making this list is it's keeping you organized. And like I said, it's jogging your memory. And one tip I want to give you when it comes to making your list is don't prejudge anyone. Don't start thinking, oh, well, I know this person or this person's my best friend, but she looks like she's in great shape. I don't think that she needs Plexus. Write her down anyways, because you have no idea what she's going to bed suffering from every single night, whether that be her health or whether it be her financial burdens. It could be anything that you have no idea about. A lot of people thought that I was healthy on the outside, but Ashley kept reaching out to me and reaching out to me and reaching out to me because she knew that I really was struggling on the inside and that I was looking for something more. So you never know what someone is suffering from. Step number 7, that is set up 3 face-to-face gatherings. So if you can, the best way to just get the word out there when you start your business is just to meet with people. Think of 3 people who you love and who love you too. I'm sure we can all I'm sure you probably have 3 people pop into your head. Maybe your mom, your sister, your sister-in-law, your cousin, your brother, whoever it may be, your best friend, your coworkers. Meet with them, grab coffee together, whatever it may be. Just bring the pink drink and put it in a little cup and have them sample it with you and just tell them, I just joined this. I don't know a lot about it, but it would be way more fun if we do it together. That's all you have to do. It's that simple. When I first joined, that was all I did. I told my friends, I don't know a whole lot yet, but I know that it would be way more fun if we do this together. And all I did was invite them on this journey with me. That's all you have to do. If you can get people face to face, that's wonderful. That's always best because people can see your passion and excitement. And then you can always bring this success kit, which is what we're kind of going over tonight too. And they can see the comp plan and all kinds of great information more about Plexus to answer their questions. But also, if you cannot do that, or let's say your schedule is so busy, or maybe you're new to the area you're in and you don't know a lot of people face to face, that's kind of how I was. You can set up 3-way calls with your sponsor. Whoever your direct sponsor is would be more than happy to hop on a phone call with you or a Facebook chat message and help share their story with someone since you don't have a story yet. So if you talk to your sponsor about doing a 3-way call, I know that everyone's sponsor on this big Slim Sisters team would be more than happy to help you with that. Number 8 is set up your back office. Now, the back office can be extremely overwhelming, but I want to encourage you to look at it the other way. It is just full of just a plethora of information for us, which is wonderful. Yes, it can be a lot, but think of it more as, wow, I have so much information to learn. That's kind of my personality. I couldn't wait to dig into all of it. I was like a sponge. I wanted to soak it all up, and I want to encourage you to be the same. Don't look at it as what you have to learn in the whole grand scheme of your Plexus journey. Look at it as one new fact you can learn every single day. And now we have things. When Tiffany and I joined, we didn't even have this success kit. This was not a thing. We have this tiny little book, but that was my Bible. I read from it when I talked to people on the phone. I never left the house without it. I kept it in my purse. So use your success kit this way and use your back office that way. We have training on there, Success on Demand. There's all kinds of things now in our back office. And you can go through the back office if you want with your direct sponsor on a Zoom like this, and they can share their screen, maybe where they walk you through exactly how to use it step by step. But if you just start playing around with it yourself, honestly, I believe trial and error is the best way of learning, because you're going to go in there and you're going to start to discover all sorts of training tools, all kinds of wonderful things that can really help you learn and grow more. So that way, when you have a team and they come to you to ask questions, you'll know the answer, because you're going to remember something more mentally if you were the one looking it up versus having to go to your sponsor for every single question, okay? Number 9 is explore the Plexus Learning Center. The Plexus Learning Center, it's just plexuslearningcenter.com. It's got even more information for you. So let's say you have, a product question or an ingredient question, or anything like that, a business question. You can go to the plexuslearningcenter.com, and I guarantee you will find it there. And kind of what I said about the back office, I want to encourage you, when you do find questions arising, as you will, I still do, I want to encourage you to go to these places first. First, go to your back office and look at all of our tools, all of our training tools, our shareables that tell us about our products, all of those different things. And then if you didn't find your question there, go to the Plexus Learning Center. And if you didn't find it there, then go to your team pages on Facebook, because I can guarantee you the answer to your question will be there. If you still can't find it, then go to your sponsor. But I truly, truly believe you are going to learn something the best by you researching it yourself. It's going to stick with you in the long run way better. And number 10 is get connected and stay connected. So this kind of goes along with the team pages that I just briefly mentioned. You should be in, obviously, the Slim Sisters page, and then whatever your actual direct uplines page is. And I want to encourage you to plug into those pages. There's lots of training information. There's so many different people that you can meet and become friends with. And when you have a sideline partner, like Tiffany and I had mentioned, it truly helps you stay on track. It keeps you accountable. And it's so encouraging to know that you are not in this alone. And if you can't see that by this call, you're not in this alone. So don't feel like you're on an island. We're not like that here in Plexus, especially not on this incredible team. So plug into all the team pages. There's a whole files tab. I know a lot of people don't know that when they first kind of join, and maybe you're not that familiar with Facebook or tech savvy. But group pages, they have files, and Jana and Amber have a ton of files for us on how to take your products, all kinds of stuff like that. And I'm sure your direct upline does as well in their own team page. Plexus also offers opportunity calls for us. So that is a wonderful way to, one, build your own belief while you're still kind of building your testimony with the products and the business. But two, it's also a great way to invite your friends to listen. They can hear success stories from people who have already gone before you and found success with both the products and the business here. So I want to encourage you to plug into that. And what you can do, because everyone here should have their success kit, is you can go back through this. This is the quick start guide. It's literally, it should be the first thing when you get your welcome pack. And when you get this welcome pack, it's a lot. There's a lot in here. But just like Tiffany said, we're not reinventing the wheel at all here in Plexus or on this team. We truly believe that corporate gave us this to help us the best that they possibly could, and it really helped a lot. So everything you could imagine you ever need to know about Plexus, I promise you, is in here. So look at that quick start guide, and guys, even when you start to kind of look at this, whether you go in tonight or later this week, I want to encourage you while it's still fresh. It actually tells you with each number here that we talked about what chapter and what page each point is on. So, it mentions number 2, talking about your list. It tells you more about it in this Let's Get Started guide. So if you feel like, oh, I can't quite remember, what Tiffany said about this point, it's all in this book. And they tell you the exact page. And there's even more in here too. If you haven't dug through that yet, I want to encourage you to kind of dig through that. And have fun with it. Like I said, just take it one day at a time. What's one thing that you can learn new every single day about the products and about the business? And before you know it, you'll be able to answer all kinds of questions for your team you're building, and for potentials also who want to know more. So that was it. We wanted to really just remind you guys that you have this right here at your fingertips. You obviously have this awesome team here to help you as well. So yeah, like I said, I'm going to check the chat box if anybody has any questions. I don't see any, so I will give it just a minute to see if anyone has questions. And if not, we will go ahead and hop off. All right. I'm going to stop recording.